Welcome to the Explaining Family Law podcast with me, Tim Whitney.
And me, Jen Curtis, from Mills and Reeve. In this podcast, we break down family law issues and answer the questions that people find themselves asking during some of life's most challenging moments.
In this episode, I'm joined by Kerry, Haugh, a principal associate in our Oxford office, to talk about adults changing their names in the context of separation and divorce. So, does a person's name automatically change when they get divorced, Kerry?
No, it doesn't. So you will continue using your married name unless you make a decision to actively change it and take the necessary steps.
Okay. And what about if people just want to revert to their maiden name after they've got divorced?
Yes, you can go back to using your maiden name or your previous name simply by showing your final order, or if you're under the old divorce legislation, your decree absolute alongside your marriage certificate. And that will be sufficient evidence for any of the organisations to accept to revert back to your maiden or previous name.
Brilliant. Thank you. And I'm sure some people listening will have heard of a deed poll. Can you just explain what that actually is and whether it's necessary when you're changing your name?
Yeah, of course. So it's a written declaration which you sign to essentially confirm that you are giving up your old name and that you wish to be known by a new name for all purposes going forward. If you are reverting back to your maiden name or a previous name, then you don't need to use a deed poll. But if you are changing to any other name, then you would need to do so.
Okay, that's great. And then for those people that I suppose have taken on a new name as part of their marriage and then they've divorced, do they have to change the name or could they keep that married name?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's entirely up to them. There's no legal requirement for them to change their name, and they are more than welcome to continue using their married name, whether they want to for personal, professional, or practical reasons, such as for career reasons or to keep the same surname as any children.
Great. And speaking of children, what about them? How would you change a child's name?
So the short answer is that anyone with parental responsibility for the child or children would need to agree to change the name. And if not everyone is in agreement, then an application would need to be made to the court for a specific issue order, which is probably an entire podcast on its own.
Brilliant. We will add that to the list and potentially do another podcast in the future about that. Well, thank you very much, Kerry, for that whistle-stop tour. I think in summary, it sounds like once somebody's decided what name they'd like to use following their divorce or separation, the process of actually changing your name and choosing your name is administrative rather than legal.
Thank you for having me.